Hi, I'm Daphne Kazizade, and today I'm going to be discussing how environmental pressures, natural selection, and variation are all related. So to start off, let's talk about different environments and the pressures that come with them. So let's zoom in on snakes. A snake living in this type of foresty environment will need much different traits to survive than a snake living in the desert. For example, they will need to have different colors in order to survive and to be able to hide from predators. Furthermore, the temperature will greatly vary between these two environments, as will rainfall. A desert snake would not be able to survive in this environment because it lacks the selective advantage that comes with it. These challenges that the snakes face in these environments are known as environmental pressures, and they are the leading force to our next topic, natural selection. The color of a snake is continuous and polygenic. Snake color would be a phenotype, or a physical or physiological characteristic of an organism. Furthermore, continuous means many values and values in between. As you can see, there's many different values for colors, such as brown, orange, yellow, green. There can also be values in between, such as a shade between orange and brown for a snake. This trait is also polygenic, which means that more than one gene plays a part in determining a snake's color. So let's zoom in on the forest situation. Let's say we have two types of snakes, snake 1 and snake 2. As you can see, snake 1 is more of a brown yellowish color, while snake 2 is a bright green. Let's say we're talking about the tree trunks and more of the ground and where the foliage and the sticks are. So snake 1 would be much more likely to survive down here due to its color, which would shield it from predators as it could camouflage. Snake 2 would be a very easy target to predators because it stands out against the browns and the yellows of the ground. This is what we call natural selection, because nature, as we can see here, will dictate which one of these two snakes will survive on the ground and in the tree trunks. Snake 2 would probably not be able to survive long and would be eaten off by a predator before it had the chance to survive to reproduce, to continue its traits. Now, you may be wondering, why is there even variation within a species? Why do we have snakes of different colors? Variation comes through in 4 different ways, one of which is crossing over events. Crossing over events happen between duplication and alignment in meiosis. Basically, homologous pairs will interchange part of their chromosome. For example, here you can see that part of the blue chromosome has been transferred to the purple side and vice versa. This makes it so that there's more variation in a species by mixing the genes. Another way of getting at variation is independent assortment. Independent assortment happens during alignment and separation 1 of meiosis. Basically, independent assortment means that the chromosomes can arrange themselves in any way they want. Here we can see that the purple and green are paired up, and the blue and orange are paired up, but this could also happen another way. Here you can see that pink and orange are paired up while blue and green are paired up. However, homologous pairs will definitely be split up, so there's no way to have pink and blue and green and orange. Now, let's move on to the other 2 ways. Another way is sexual reproduction, which is basically when a sperm and egg come together to create a zygote. Because of the mixing of 2 different sets of genes, this will lead to variation. Next, we arrive at mutations, the final way. This can arrive through something such as radiation, and I apologize for the really bad drawing, or an error in DNA replication. Mutations create variations by changing the DNA. But how does variation even help a species? Well, variation increases the probability of the survival of a species. Because if you think about it, when you have more than one possibility for each trait, like let's talk about color of the snakes. You have green snakes, orange snakes, yellow snakes, brown snakes. When you have all of those different colors, if the environment changes, as we saw with the moths, the species of moths was still able to survive. Because although the environment had changed and there was soot all over the buildings, the black moths were still able to camouflage and continue their species. However, once the Clean Air Act was passed, we saw an increase in brown moths. If you have more than one option for a trait, it's going to be very likely for the species to be able to survive any type of environmental change, because at one point that trait can become the advantageous trait, continuing the species. Thank you for watching.